So we are about 1 week away from early voting for the California governor's race. I'm going to give you a brief overview on the top 5 candidates. Reminder, here in the state of California, we have what's called a jungle primary, meaning both Republicans and Democrats are all lumped in together. Only the top 2 candidates will then move on to November. Number 1, we have Tom Steyer. He's a Democrat and he is a billionaire, right? He had a hedge fund for quite some time and he's had a number of different climate change foundations. He's running on a ticket of building 1 million homes, right? He wants to abolish ICE. He wants to tax billionaires like himself, and he also wants to fight climate change. However, he has no experience in public office. In fact, he made his billions investing in very things that he's railed against. He even invested in Trump's casinos, funded the company that built lots of private prisons and ICE detention centers, and has avoided paying taxes like the ones he's now saying that billionaires should pay by hiding his hedge fund's money in over 200 offshore shell companies. He's also run a pretty dirty campaign, consistently repeating MAGA talking points about his opponents, and has spent over $130 million in the governor's campaign in the past year. Just imagine all the other things that he could have done with that money. Okay, so number 2, we have Xavier Becerra. He's also running as a Democrat. He started out polling pretty low, but in the last few weeks, he's really risen, and now in some polls, he's actually ahead of Tom Steyer. Xavier Becerra is the most experienced candidate we've ever had running for governor here in the state of California. He was in Congress for 24 years. He was in the California State Assembly. Then he was Attorney General of California. And then he was even appointed as the head of Health and Human Services. During his time, he made a name for himself doing so many things, right? Fighting for single-payer healthcare, helping write some of the best parts of the Affordable Care Act. He created the Environmental Justice Bureau here in California. He consistently fought for women's reproductive rights. He sued the Trump administration over 120 times and won most of those. His list of achievements is like too long to name. Okay. He's an introverted workhorse though, right? So when it comes to the debate stage, he doesn't have those like really zinging one-liners because he's not a slick politician who's been rehearsing these lines over and over, but never actually done anything. Next, we have Steve Hilton. He has been the top Republican. He's British and he has been a Fox News contributor for quite some time. He's never held public office. However, he was one of the top political strategists for the Conservative Party in England. He also helped convince the British public to vote for Brexit, but that has ended up being really economically devastating for them. His campaign promises include much of the same ideas that have hurt the British economy, except he wants to implement them here in California. Close behind Steve Hilton, we have Chad Bianco, all right? He has been the sheriff of Riverside County since 2019. Under his tenure, Riverside County has seen a violent crime increase of over 18%. Crime clearance rates have plummeted and now are the lowest in the state. Many controversies and lawsuits against his department, but he also had multiple raises approved and is now the highest paid sheriff in all of California. He was also a previous Oath Keeper, which was the far-right extremist group that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. And then last, at least for this video, is Katie Porter. She was an acclaimed consumer rights advocate, professor, and lawyer, and she made her name holding companies and government officials accountable during her time in Congress. She got them to admit many of their faults under oath and helped write a lot of laws for consumer protections. However, she's had a few personal scandals in which she seemed to be short and rude with some members of her staff. However, her own employees and staff have come out in defense of her, and she has apologized for her past actions.